The Oscars are coming, which means it's that time of year that we pretend to like thoughtful, brave little art films instead of superheroes battling 80s remake characters in post-apocalyptic wastelands. So, doing my duty as a film reviewer, I dusted off my copy of The Guardian, booked some tickets to my local Curzon and went to go watch The Revenant. Oh yeah, I mean, it's gorgeous. It was shot almost entirely with natural lighting and it's full of these difficult long takes, and apparently it was really hard to make and they had to run around in the cold for like 3 months to shoot it. But then swallowing a Baby Bell whole is difficult and I haven't got a Best Picture nomination. So let's forget about the difficulty of making it and just take a look at the story. Leonardo DiCaprio plays Hugh Glass, a man who doesn't like talking much. Then some bad stuff happens and his throat gets slit by a bear, so he can't talk at all. And they leave him for dead. The man who left him for dead is Tom Hardy, so Leonardo DiCaprio decides he's going to go and kill Tom Hardy. And poor old Leo, huh? No Oscars. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Hopefully he'll get it this year. He really deserves it for the good films he's been in. I'm not convinced he should get it for this, though. I mean, he mostly just breathes heavily throughout the whole movie. There's something to be said for the fact that he doesn't say almost anything during the film, because it's quite difficult for actors to get their meanings across without doing that. So I suppose that in its sense is an achievement. But it's not like he has much to do besides that as well. It's mostly just an atrocity exhibition for Leonardo DiCaprio. I mean, he gets attacked by Native Americans, he gets attacked by a bear, he goes for a swim in a cold river. I mean, it's really tough all over for poor old Leo. By the end of it, you really feel for the guy, and if that's worth an Oscar, if Leo had to break his little vegan vow and eat a whole bison liver for the film just to get a statuette, then, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Fair play to the guy. And the thing is, I kind of feel like I'm nitpicking. I mean, it's a good movie. It's really nicely shot. The music's fantastic, and no one seems to be talking about that. The music's great. The performances are really good, what the script gives them anyway, but it just feels like it's missing something. There's not much to it. The story's kind of dull. It's simple in a bad way. It's just about the endless brutality of nature and its kind of raw power. That in itself isn't a bad story at all. Jack London and Henry David Thoreau are two famous American authors who talked extensively about the power of the wilderness, but they made it into something. And this movie just seems to be kind of bereft of the next step. It doesn't have any themes or ideas in it. Especially when you compare it to Birdman, which was made by the same creative team last year, which pulls off some similar stylistic effects, but manages on the whole to be a much more interesting movie. It's not just about a way of shooting it and a kind of difficulty of the story about how they made it, but about the themes and ideas behind the characters. And speaking of Birdman, they managed to pull off most of the creative stuff they've done in The Revenant in that as well, so it's not like they haven't done it before. It doesn't make the film particularly brave in any sense. I'm picking holes, I think. And I don't think that's a bad thing sometimes. They're saying this is the best film of the year, or one of them. It's one of 8 that's been said to be the best picture of 2015. Whoa, what a huge claim. It's got 12 nominations. Pretty much everything across the board has given it a nomination in the Oscars. Why can't we pick holes in that movie? It didn't have anything near what I wanted from it. Even arguments that it was designed to be a simplistic movie, a kind of raw picture, kind of pales in comparison when you think to the overall joy and depth of ideas in something like Mad Max Fury Road. So yeah, I'm picking holes. I mean, it was a 7 out of 10. It's a good movie. But when you think about a 7 out of 10, really that's just a 3.5 out of 5. And that doesn't sound very good when you put it like that, does it? So, The Revenant, apparently one of the best pictures of the year. Not really. It's lost my vote. Not that I am a voting member of the Oscars. I'm just a guy with a camera, a couple of lights, a nice new microphone. Just spreading my opinions like a cunt on YouTube. Do you know what this is? This is a long take. They're really clever, aren't they? See you next week. Maybe.